I'm Daniel here with my wife Patty. Say hello, Patty.
Hi, everyone.
And we're here to talk about essential oils. Uh, it's a long story in how I got involved in this, and we'll get to it. But what you need to know about us is we're both scientists. I'm a formulation chemist from way back. I've been doing this a very long time, and Patty's an analytical chemist who's analyzed essential oils and other things like that. And we've been interested in essential oils. Now, I had back pain and some wrist pain that was kind of chronic, and Patty introduced me to an essential oil that she was familiar with from Madagascar, where she's from. It's called Katrafay, and I didn't know if it would work or not. I was really skeptical. I heard a lot of ups and downs about essential oils, and I didn't know whether to trust it or not. But Patty insisted that I try the Katrafay, and I tried it on my wrist. I had an injury on my wrist from doing something stupid with a hand tool that I shouldn't have been doing, and it was swollen. And anyway, so I applied the Katrafay twice a day for 3 days, and everything was great. So I was really interested in knowing why the Katrafay worked. Okay, I tried it; it worked for me, and of course, Patty knew all about it. She used it her entire life, and so I've been sold on essential oils ever since then, and especially Katrafay. But being the scientist that I am, I wanted to know why the Katrafay worked. What about it made it work so good? And so I began about 10 years ago looking for information about Katrafay, scientific papers to find out what the chemistry is and why it works. And also to kind of convince myself that it's actually working.
That's a good thing. Well, you didn't convince yourself it was working for you, but it was working, right?
Yeah, and it did work. And so there was a lot of anecdotal evidence, and by anecdotal evidence, I mean somebody says, hey, I tried Katrafay and it worked for me for whatever reason. And any essential oils like that, somebody would say, hey, I use lavender to help me sleep. Anecdotal evidence is good. Don't get me wrong, you don't need to discount it. But at some point, you have to look at the science and see what the science says. And so I spent a fair amount of time searching for other evidence besides anecdotal evidence. The people of Madagascar have known that Katrafay works for a very long time. We call it the aspirin of Madagascar. They use it for just about everything, but mainly for pain relief and sore muscles and things like that. So Patty thought it was such a good idea, and I thought it was such a good idea that the oils of Madagascar were so unique, the essential oils, that maybe we should enlighten the world about it. So long story short, we stacked hands and decided for Patty to form her own company called Makaaina. And that's where the whole quest began. So I began looking for more evidence of why essential oils started working. And in the meantime, Patty began working on her business. And we kind of merged together in trying to figure out why these materials work. So we thought it would be a good idea to put a couple of videos together where we would research a particular essential oil and look for facts, peer-reviewed papers, scholarly articles, anything to talk about the composition of these essential oils and why they actually work, and kind of separate the anecdotal evidence from the science and see if they agree with each other. And since Katrafay is one of my favorite ones, then I would like to start with it. So one more thing about anecdotal evidence, people in the southern U.S. will know about this one. There's a plant called Jewelweed that grows in hot and humid, shady places in the forest. It's a member of the impatiens family, just like the impatiens that you would plant in your garden or your flower beds. And it has an orange flower on it. And people have tried to use the elixir from that orange flower by boiling it and concentrating it and using it to treat poison ivy. Now, somebody approached me a long time ago and says, hey, does this stuff really work? And of course, I had to try to find out, did it work or not? So I did a lot of research and found that the flower contains a compound called 2-methoxy naphthoquinone. And it's the active ingredient. And so it went so far as it got studied by some drug companies as to whether it's an anti-itch formula or not. And what it found out was that about 33 to 35% of the people that tried it, it worked for them to relieve itching from poison ivy. So that's the kind of research we want to do. We've heard claims about what certain essential oils do, and I don't discount them. It may work for you, but I want to make sure that the science says that it's doing what it's supposed to do. So we decided to make some videos. So, Patty, what do you think about the analytical portion of this? What do you know about analyzing essential oils?
Yeah, I know a lot about analyzing essential oils. I think Daniel forget to mention that he had this great idea that let's do videos on the proven facts of essential oils. And so I was totally 100% on board about it, because we are both scientists, and you use Katrafay, and I've known Katrafay, the Katrafay essential oils that you mentioned. I've known it for a long time, so I took everything for granted. So I've never thought about, let's just look at the papers, etc., because I know it's working. And why is that? Why it's working? Because I am from Madagascar. My family has always used medicinal plants and essential oils from Madagascar for healing. I just want to mention that, for healing, because we didn't have the means to buy Western medications, so we had to rely on medicinal plants and also some extract from these plants, such as essential oils. So I've used essential oils all my life, and so I've never thought about I need to look at the paper, etc., etc. But when Daniel say, let's look at the paper closely, and I think that just makes sense. And we want to bring that scientific knowledge about essential oils, to people like Daniel, that at the beginning he was very skeptical about it, and but at least he was willing to try.
Yeah.
And I did work for him. He kind of I would say encouraged me to start my company, even though I am a scientist. So I am a scientist turned entrepreneur. And speaking of analyzing, I've analyzed all different kinds of products. I did a lot of research too, from drinking water contaminant, pain management, drugs, etc. But I've also analyzed essential oils, and I learned a lot from that. I'm also a teacher. I teach chemistry at Baptist Health Sciences University. So chemistry is our background, and as I say, it just does make sense to learn about the sciences behind the essential oils, especially that today I am the founder of Makaaina, and Makaaina specializes in the essential oils from Madagascar. Why Madagascar? Because as I mentioned earlier, the medicinal plants and the essential oils are working. So that's one of the reasons why that I am totally on board with everything that you want to do, because I think Daniel didn't mention that he's a chemist, but he's also a formulator chemist. So he started with Katrafay, and what else did you do?
Yeah, so the Katrafay worked so well just straight out of the bottle. I thought, okay, it would be nice to make some formulations with it. Either just mix it with some oil, use as a topical ointment, or you could use it in a massage oil. Or what I wanted to do was make a body balm that would be kind of like a solid material that you could take out of the bottle and rub on your wrist or whatever's hurting for you. So we worked on some of those things too, and we'll get to those towards the end of this video. So this video, what we're trying to do is educate you on what the claims and anecdotal evidence is, and then does the science back it up. And so we're starting with Katrafay, and then really what we want to do is make sure that we recommend, as business owners, the right essential oil for the right reason. And there are several essential oils that do some of the same things. We want to make sure that you use the right one. So Katrafay, let's just begin there. Okay.
Yeah, so let me just ask one more question. So why do you think this series of videos that we are going to do matter?
Well, the reason it matters is because Patty and I personally have been to events where there have been some very strong claims made about certain oils that we suspect are a little bit overboard. Okay, so I don't want to get further into the details, but some of the same things they claimed seem to be not based on science. So we want to make sure that everybody knew that we are scientists. This is what we do, and we're going to find out if these things are true. And so we'll have a title of each video that'll be something around a specific essential oil to start with. And this one's going to be about Katrafay.
Yeah, is there any other things besides essential oils, besides these proven benefits of essential oils that we are going to talk about? Or?
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that I'm interested in that essential oils may be able to help us with, but I'm also interested in things like longevity, of course, and then anything to do with brain research. We have Alzheimer's in our family. We have Huntington's disease and things like that. I want to see if there's anything we can do in that area with essential oils or other treatments. And then, some of this stuff, like just give you an example of methylene blue. Robert Kennedy takes methylene blue on a daily basis. Other people are saying that it's great for mitochondria and that sort of thing. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to dig into it and see if the chemistry supports these claims at some point in the future. So that's what we're going to do. I hope they're useful. And like I said, we're going to try to separate the fact from the fiction, so to speak.
The way it's going to work, we are going to research papers. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So because there are so many different papers out there, and what do you think the best papers should look like? Do you need to have like a placebo, double blind?
Yeah, that's right.
Because there are so many papers out there. So what kind of papers are we're going to look at?
Well, it's got to pass my standards to start with, which is, was it done, in the right way? Which means, is there a control? Is there a placebo? You don't necessarily have to have a placebo, but was the test work done in a controlled method? Was this done on models, for example? Did you use certain inflammation markers that you can test for inflammation in the laboratory without doing human experiments? Are they using the right models to do the right tests and that sort of thing? So there's some things that I need to learn too that I'm happy to do to verify these things. And then was it peer reviewed before it was published? That's very important. Anybody can write a paper now and put it on their blog, and people will read it and they think it's the gospel. It may not be, but before something gets published, usually it's peer reviewed and fact checked before they're allowed to publish it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look for scientific papers. In the case of Katrafay, there weren't very many at all when I first started looking, but in the last 2 years or so, 2 or 3 years, there's been some really nice work published, and that's what we'll go to for Katrafay. I'll do the same thing with the other oils.
Yeah, I know you are used to that, because just tell us a little bit what you are doing, because we're used to read papers, right?
Yeah. I'm a researcher. I've worked in the industrial chemistry area for a very long time. I have 24, 25 patents or so on different formulas, different things, and I don't like to brag, but I may be the world's expert on soft but strong toilet paper. You can thank me later. So this stuff is, interesting to me. It may not be nearly as important as strong toilet paper, but I'm interested in it. I think people are missing out if they're not using the right essential oils, as I missed out for the first 50 years of my life, or 48 or 45, whatever it was. And, I would like to encourage people to try things, but you have to have early success. That's the thing about anything that you try. I don't care what it is. If you don't have early success, you'll get discouraged. So I want to make sure that we recommend the right essential oil for the right reason, especially for the people that are not familiar with essential oils. Hopefully we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, and I want to mention too, because whenever we are going to talk about papers, especially dealing with essential oils, I want to mention that the essential oils that this paper hopefully are 100% pure and 100% natural. And the essential oils that sometimes people are making claim on, maybe they are not that 100% pure and 100% natural. So we want to make sure to make that distinction, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so much stuff to discuss. We won't get into everything on this introductory video, but the purity of the oil is everything. I can't say that enough. The source of the oil, can you track it all the way back to the farmer or the person who collected it? If you can't do that, then you may be in for a surprise of how well it does or does not work. So all those things are very important.
Yeah. So whenever they deal with papers and they make a claim on the scientific paper, and I trust that these researchers are using 100% pure and natural essential oils, and this is what we are trying to do. And whenever we read this paper, we might have some opinion about it, we might have some recommendation about it, but this is what we are going to do. But you talk about a Katrafay that is working for you. I know you started, it was like an Anecdotal.
Yeah.
I cannot say it.
Anecdotal.
Anecdotal about
it's easy
it.
for me to say.
It's okay. And so what other essential oils worked for you as well, since you've been using essential oils now?
Yes, so I have trouble sleeping sometimes, and I had heard lavender and some other things might work, but Patty recommended Ylang Ylang, which is it's grown in lots of parts of the world, but the Ylang Ylang from Madagascar is the best, if you ask me. I've been to these conferences where other vendors have their essential oils, and Patty's is way more powerful. So I was going to say that I use just a little bit of Ylang Ylang, and it does help me sleep, no doubt about it. So that's an easy one. Helichrysum is another one.
You just used Helichrysum actually recently, right?
Yeah. I have, like a lot of old guys like me, my elbows are really rough, okay? And I got tired of it.
Old.
Yeah, so whatever. And so I had made a balm that had Katrafay in it, and I changed some other things in it, put the Helichrysum in there, and just used it as a balm on my elbows. And 2 or 3 days of that, and it's back to, it's still old, okay, but it feels better. So anyway, there you go. So Helichrysum, and then Geranium. Once again, I'm going to give you my anecdotal evidence about geranium. Maybe I'll find a paper, but it's great for sunburns. So if you have a sunburn, it soothes the sunburn. So there you go. Yeah. So those I use all the time. Saro is another one that we have that is good to ward off infections and things like that. And then Cypress is one of my favorites, just to get you kick-started in the morning. It's a very nice one. And we make inhalers of these things. And we'll get into those on some of the other videos. But there's going to be a lot you learn from this, that's for sure.
Yeah, I am very, very excited about this series of videos. So we really hope that you're going to tune in. But before that, maybe we can give everybody something that you've learned. Because when I founded the company, it is also for people like Daniel that they are skeptical about it. They don't want to try it. But I am excited about my company because I know Daniel are using these essential oils. Customers are using these essential oils, and they are coming back to buy more and more because they are working. So because they are working, I want you to just give us maybe a little recipe about how you use Katrafay the first time. Maybe that's something that people can start today.
Okay, yeah. So first off, the research that I did, I found out that Patty's Katrafay from Makaaina is 93% sesquiterpene. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but trust me, sesquiterpenes have been known to fight inflammation for a long time. Okay, and so the papers that I read, one of the best ones, they actually did the in vivo testing with the markers of does it reduce inflammation. They have these lab models that they use, and of course the Katrafay is absolutely proven to be an anti-inflammatory. And what's unique about it is it's absorbed through the skin. So we don't recommend anybody ingest essential oils. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Use the normal means, which is aroma or working through the skin or through inhalation. So Patty encouraged me to try the Katrafay just right out of the bottle straight. So I put a couple of drops on my wrist and rubbed it in, and didn't think anything about it, but I rubbed it in nicely, and I did that twice a day for about 3 days. The pain was gone. So I didn't like pouring it directly out of the bottle on my skin, so I said, you know what, why don't we make a little formula and that sort of thing so that it's a little bit safer, a little bit easier to use, and I won't spill as much.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So for everybody out there, you can use the Katrafay just straight from the bottle if you like, but
it's very safe.
Just try one drop first and make sure you're okay with that. Let it, rub it in like you normally would, and after 24 hours, if there's no irritation, then you're good to go. I would be really, really shocked if you did get irritated with this. This Katrafay is pure. Patty went to the farm where they grow this stuff and met with the distillers or processors, and she picked the very best in Madagascar. So no, it's going to work. Don't have to worry about that. But for the formulation side of it, if you want,
you went from like the drop and then decided to do a formulation because he is a formulation chemist.
So
he knows how to formulate. He understands the chemistry. That's why it's kind of like a really nice, not only to have a partner that to support, you know, the idea of creating a business, but also the idea that not the idea, but understanding the chemistry within the essential oils. I know there are a lot of like compounds in the essential oils, but he had a real chemist, if I can understand that, or a real formulator, understand the chemistry of the compounds. And this is what Daniel is doing.
Yeah.
He knows chemistry.
So yeah, that was good. That was almost exactly what I told you to say. So yeah, just for a real simple formula, first of all, get the Katrafay from Makaaina.com. There you go. Easy to find on the old interweb. Get that bottle of Katrafay, and then in your favorite little bottle, just put about 5% to 10% Katrafay in the bottom, and then just pick your favorite oil that you use on your skin. You can use any kind of vegetable oil that you like. Jojoba oil is a little bit thicker. It'll stay on the skin a little longer, doesn't penetrate as fast, but you can use that. And if you're concerned about which oil to use, turns out Patty has a nice document that you can find on Makaaina.com that explains why you would want to use one oil versus another oil. And so that's what I would recommend. And then anything that hurts on you, that's painful, feel free.
Neck,
Joint
shoulder,
pain.
joint.
Yeah, that's right. You
muscle when you get strained.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it, you guys do what you want to do with this information, but it's good in a massage oil. All right, there you go. So yeah, that's my call to action for you guys to go and try this for yourself. You will not be disappointed, that's for sure. Yeah. And coming soon, I will have my body balm formula. We'll have it priced for sale and everything. It'll be a few months until we get everything sorted out on that.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of the body balm, we have already distributed a lot of body balm to many people, and they love it. That's all I'm going to say. That's why, because we wanted to make some formulations first that we know it works, and we just need to tweak it a little bit, and it's going to be ready very soon.
Yeah, Katrafay.
Because I have the best formulator.
Well, part of the main reason about these videos is to verify with science what these essential oils are capable of doing. And I know for sure, based on my personal experience, Patty's lifetime experience, and then the science behind it from a couple of very nice papers that did a really good job to prove the anti-inflammatory properties of it. So I feel confident in recommending that one for sure. So what else you got, Patty?
Well, you can just comment, and you can also send us some questions. If you want to know more about all of these video series about aromatherapy, about essential oil science, and any other science news, you're talking about longevity connected to essential oils, and you should subscribe to our YouTube channel. And there are also additional links in the caption to follow us, to like us, and also a link to find all the essential oils that we are going to talk about at Makaaina.com.
Now, what happens if they sign up for a newsletter?
If they sign up for a newsletter, not only they are going to have a regular news, but at the same time, you can receive 50% off of all the products out there.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for listening in, and hopefully you'll join back the next time. And so like, subscribe, all the other things that you know to do.
Exactly.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did a good job.